So I have to read an apology letter about the last episode.
Well, it's the first episode of the new campaign. We got to get facts right. So
I'm very, very sorry for calling Liam's character.
Look at the audience.
I'm very sorry for calling Liam's character a warlock when he very clearly is a wizard.
Yeah.
Dave knew this the entire time. Dave is very clever and handsome. He's good in bed. He wears nice clothes. This is 2 pages. I'm not reading that.
There's actually nothing on there, but you said the good bed thing, and I was right.
Okay, get back in shot. Get back in shot. We can start this. All right, hello and welcome to NPCs of Wildemount, reviewing episode 2 of season 2. Season 2, campaign 2.
It is campaign.
Campaign.
It depends how you used to call it. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's the second one.
Yeah. Which sees wonderful Vox Machina, but completely not Vox Machina.
Not Vox Machina.
No,
Vox
the
Machina
characters from Vox Machina. Yeah, they all died. The characters of Critical Role back with new characters.
I think how it's remember last episode we agreed we were going to call them something.
Right.
So I've got the name for this week.
Got one for this week. All right.
This week they are called. Where are they? Ooh, whoops. Hold up.
Off to a fantastic start so far.
Stinkydoodies.
Stinky, that's the name we're going with.
Yeah, because that's what Jester said.
Okay, from here on out, I'm in charge of coming up with the name to call them each week.
You probably won't. You'll forget, and then you'll be like, oh, what's the name?
Anyway, we're here to talk about Critical Role, so let's talk about Critical Role.
He's doing that because he knows it's
Also, it's dangerous mocking Dave in this one because he's editing this, so anything could happen in post. No, so wonderfully...
Rabbit!
Don't just edit in a rabbit.
I know. Anything could happen.
Okay, alright, fine, there's a rabbit there, alright. So essentially they start right where they left off last week. In the circus tent after crap has gone down, people have died, zombies have risen, bad shit going on all around. So the first
I put Molly in chains, because it's like Alice in Chains.
But with Molly. Sure, okay.
Well, that is why.
It's just such an obscure weird reference to make Critical Role through. So essentially, some of them get captured and taken off to be questioned.
Well basically, Molly gets captured, and the rest of them kind of manage to weasel out of it, but they do follow along. But then Beauregard decides to be so clever and kind of sneak around, but then she gets arrested too. Yeah,
so essentially Marisha's new character, Beauregard, fantastic name, or Beau, and I'm still trying to figure out if I'm just going to spell it B-O or if I'm going to spell it B-E-A-U, like it should be, but that's not really that important.
Spell it, you mean in your notes?
Well, my notes say it changes.
You put B-O.
And then there's with the E and the
You're
A.
putting B-O, or Bay.
Again, not the important part of the episode. Anyway, she gets essentially does some successful stealth for a little bit, but Matt is making her re-roll stealth quite a lot.
Because she got 2 bad rolls.
And she gets chained together. Then she decides it would be a good idea. I think this is kind of Marisha in a new role, like having fun with the fact she doesn't have to be Keyleth, because she tries to just mess up the guards, but with an even worse role.
Remember, they're still level 2.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to be good at anything.
Yeah. It's actually quite fun watching them roll and being like, it's a 9, rather than watching them roll and be like, it's a 342.
Yeah. It'd be so cool that later down the line, all of a sudden there's Vax's dagger that comes into the scene. Because that he rolls so high, and Matt makes the joke, you rolled so high, it vanished into the next campaign. It'd be cool. It's just a reference, just suddenly a dagger just appears.
The shadowy figure just in the distance. Basically they've got the devil toad, Valerie. Valerie? Yeah, Valerie. Who apparently is a lizard folk, but quite a large one. Although there is like a bit of speculation about if this is, Chat was talking about it, which creatures maybe he is in the monster manual kind of thing, trying to do some theorizing. But essentially Beau tries to free Toya. The girl had been singing in the last episode. Yeah. The little dwarven girl.
Dwarf, it's kind of like 20, 30s.
Yeah,
something around there for a dwarf. Yeah. But it got the persona of a child.
Yeah, young dwarf. They do a lot of thinking in this episode, and there's a lot of theorizing
and a lot of detectiving.
Yeah,
badly.
Yeah, I think the players in this episode were a little bit lost as to what they were supposed to be doing. So it went down a few avenues.
It kind of was very like an exploring episode. So basically, they get arrested, they go to prison, they get let go.
Yep. They talk to the lawmaker. They roll some very high persuasion checks, with nat 20s and such. And
I put Not and Caleb's new kind of team name. Their sub-team name. They have a sub-team name called Stinky and the Little One.
Yeah, so far, like I think the tightest bond we've seen through the new characters would be Not and Liam's wizard character.
I think he...
What's his name?
You got it right, Caleb.
Caleb. Yeah.
And it's familiar. Little.
Yeah.
Which I've blanked on the name there. Not Molly, it's...
I don't know what the familiar's name is either.
Oh, okay, because they always say cat.
They don't use the name very often.
Yeah, they don't use it often. They said it in the first episode, but mine's running blank.
We'll just edit it and look.
Yeah, I'll put it there.
That's what we do when we can't think.
But we did have a lot of... This is probably a more interactive episode in terms of all the characters kind of talking together and getting to know them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do have I'm about 90% sure that Caleb's a werewolf.
Ooh, okay, lycanthropy, interesting.
Because why he's so stinky? Because he's a wet dog.
Right.
Kind of mentality.
I can see the logic.
They keep on mentioning subtly, like, if that thing happens again to you.
Right.
And things like that. So I think Caleb is a werewolf.
There's actually a few things in this episode that kind of raise a little bit of a question mark for me, and want to know more about it. Like when Laura talks about her character, and she talks about the thing on her belt.
Why are you saying this? Could you get me the Tal'Dorei guide?
Yes. No, that's not that one. It's back there.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
right behind me. Yeah, so at one point Laura says something to Matt along the lines of, does this affect the thing on my belt? And we don't really get too much more information than that, other than later on where she goes to heal someone, seemingly with the thing, she fails to heal Bo, and then says, oh, that bastard. And people are like, who are you talking about? And then that kind of just vanishes. They don't talk about it anymore. So I think that maybe Laura's character might have some kind of secret person, or maybe even familiar.
A secret person?
Like, some weird thing on her belt. So I'm going to watch this more and see if I can gather any more information.
You're going to watch Critical Role more? No way!
I'm going to watch for that more in the next couple of episodes. And if you guys have any theories, I didn't see too much in the chat, but there's something going on there. I don't know what. What are you looking for?
Because she Laura's character as well mentioned the little traveller symbol on her. And I thought that may have been something different in here. Tal'Dorei, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So while you were talking about that, I was looking up nonsense.
Okay, fantastic. Anyway, running forward a little bit, we've got Fjord, who is Travis's new character, using big words. Yes, he actually gets to play with an intelligence of 14.
I love how he went grog. Did you hear that?
No.
There was a moment where he does something like really clever, and he turns and he goes, well, that went very well. And then he just, like, as the sentence goes, he goes back to the Ford voice and he realizes what he did.
Was he using this voice in the last episode? Or he was. I didn't notice as much.
Ford has very been in the background so far.
Yeah.
He hasn't had much of a spotlight, but you probably heard more coming from Ford this episode than last episode.
And remember that Ford and Beauregard actually had like a secret session before the stream started.
Oh, and Jester.
Yeah, and Jester as well. So that those three actually had like an off-screen episode 0 kind of little introduction to the campaign, get themselves accustomed, and essentially what they did comes back at the end of this episode. They mentioned what happened off-stream. You know,
the snake.
Yeah, the snake stuff.
The snake.
Yeah. So anyway, these guys kind of go forward and they end up in a tavern. Now they've kind of been allowed to leave. They're not now shackled, but they are still confined to the city.
They're in house arrest. Tavern arrest.
Tavern arrest, essentially,
yeah.
So this is like the next 2 hours of the episode. Hour and a half, 2 hours is them in the tavern. And it's a lot of just roleplay, character stuff, getting to know each other.
It's match, pretty much. Matt just sat down and was just like, talk.
Yeah, and they did.
They did. And they kind of got to know each other, realised that they justified the reasoning of staying together, such as Caleb and Not. They're like, should we stay with him? Let's just go with it to kind of make it kind of the adventure kind of happen. Yeah.
We learn a few things about the characters as well, as they kind of talk about where they came from and all that kind of stuff. Not reveals that she's always had an affinity for lifting things, shiny things specifically. Bit of a sticky-fingered girl there. We find out about the goblight. Which is when Caleb casts light on Not.
Oh, yeah.
The goblight, yep. What else do we find? That's where we find about the thing on Jester's belt. Now, I really want to know what the hell this is. So I'll be scrutinizing Jester very closely until I figure out what the hell.
There'll be some fan art of theories and stuff.
Yeah, I hope so.
But I think basically they're just in the tavern, they interact it, and then the Stinkydoodies decide to kind of escape during the night and find out more information about what's going on.
Yeah.
And basically, the long and the short of it, the elderly person that turned into that monstrosity, they're tracking him or trying to get information about him, and going to various people to get information about
They think that that's where maybe the next key information lies. Now, at this point, they do a whole bunch of disguising stuff and go on an information-seeking mission, but I honestly think, just by the way that Matt seemed quite unprepared for playing these characters, and even the districts that they had explored,
he did not expect them to go investigating like Sherlock Holmes.
No, so he kind of for the next hour or so, they travel around and talk to all these characters, and Matt is kind of like,
there's nothing there.
No, there is no information there.
And that's kind of good, because you're teaching the players that this is the wrong path to go down.
Yeah.
And they keep them saying, oh, what crap in investigating. No, you just weren't supposed to investigate that way.
Yeah,
That's what the kind of the indication was. It wasn't that the fact you're out of it. It's like, if I want to know about rocket surgery. Oh, rocket surgery? Rocket surgery.
Rocket surgery. Go with rocket surgery.
Rocket science.
Yeah.
And I go to a preschool teacher asking about it. I'm not going to get any information because I'm not supposed to go to a preschool teacher to learn about rocket science.
Where the hell did you get rocket surgery, which is not a thing, rocket science, and now you're talking about kindergartens? You
Do you get my metaphor?
It's a really stretched metaphor.
Okay, well, you come up with a better metaphor, genius.
It's like Will from Will and Grace in season 1 and episode 7.
We just lost everybody. You realise that? Like, last video was like one of our top videos ever.
Yeah.
And now this is going to be the bottom.
No, I reckon people are going to go watch that episode and see if I'm right. I reckon you should. Anyway, essentially they go down a whole lot of paths that don't really lead...
It's like, why do we do this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I know why we do this. I don't know why you do this. Why are you watching us, man? It's weird. I love you, though. Anyway, yeah, so essentially, I don't know what the hell's going on. Essentially, they go down a whole lot of paths that yield very little information until they decide to go back to the circus to investigate. And I think that's when Matt starts going, oh, good.
They're kind of back on track. Because you kind of expected, what I expected, and probably Matt expected, is when the guys got dragged away, so Molly did get interrogated and taken away, and that was going to be a story on its own.
Yeah.
And the rest of the group was going to stay back and investigate the circus.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah.
They followed along and kind of like jumbled it all up, and then...
Oh, we did meet some interesting kind of characters throughout the investigation, like Oglin. What was his last name? Oglin Hornsblower, who essentially runs like this op shop that's like borderline just crazy person hoarding kind of place. Liam actually tries to get some books. One of them had like powerful arcane and it cost way too much. He didn't have it.
And not actually steal stuff.
Yeah, he steals a platinum flask. He switches his with like a much more expensive flask. We also find out that Not has... I can't remember if it belongs to Not or
Caleb?
Yeah, but it's a bowl that essentially once a day can turn a copper piece into a silver piece.
I think it's like a scam.
Yeah,
it's got
I think he wants to use it for something.
But when Bo did investigation, Matt kind of acknowledged it was magic.
Yeah.
So there must be a magical component to it.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to use it for because, that doesn't really...
The scam house.
Yeah, so there's some kind of... I don't know what the scam's going to be, but...
The scam is you put a copper in, and it gives you a false magic coin.
Right.
That's not actually silver, so they get a copper.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I see that. But it's still only making a copper at a time. But yeah, no, okay, cool.
I need to get one of these pots and give it to you. Because it seems like I'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, I would actually have to have copper pieces. I don't even have copper. I stand on
We
the
don't
street
use copper, we use coins.
Yeah.
And like currency. That's what I would
Have you guys ever seen New Zealand money? Like, I just realised, I was about to go, I'll show you some, and then realised I'm broke.
I don't have any.
No, what? There's one of our videos where he eats $5 in the opening gag.
Yeah. That was weird.
Way off track. Now we're off track.
That was improv as well.
Let's get back.
Anyway.
Let's get back to the actual...
Yeah, so they go back to the circus and kind of Jester and Not kind of go do their own little stealthy, badly investigate things, and the guard sees Jester and Jester charms him.
Yeah, first time Laura's used one of her kind of influential spells. He fails his save. I love that. That was great. Well, I'm going to make a gif of that. He doesn't make a save, so he kind of just becomes charmed and lets her do what she's doing.
Yeah, and she tried to push it a little bit. It's like, go to sleep. And he's like, no.
Now, this is them. They're in the right place, but they're trying to figure out what exactly they're looking for. So they go tent to tent, and Laura's character Jester actually cast Detect Good and Evil, which is a radius spell around her, and lasts for 10 minutes. So essentially, she goes tent to tent, trying to find if there's some kind of evil entity. They find Desmond and talk to him. He was one of the guys that runs the circus. Desmond's Carnival of Curiosities. He was the one that aroused the most suspicion for me. Because he was, you could see Matt really thinking about the answers he was giving. He wasn't just role-playing. It seemed like he was doing some mental calculations whilst giving information. Okay. Then there was stuff that Desmond started saying it was the other guy. He started pointing the finger at... wow, mind blank.
I don't know who. Well, pointed the finger at
the other guy that runs the circus.
Oh, I got his name. Got his name.
Thank you.
Nova, or is it Gaston?
Yeah.
Gustav.
Yeah.
Gustav.
Yeah. And start saying to the party, "Oh, if you're searching for someone dodgy, it's probably him." And I thought, that's just classic villain kind of going...
Misdirection.
Yeah, exactly, misdirection. So I don't trust Desmond. I think he's the one that's behind it.
I think this whole arc is going to be about this circus.
Oh, right.
I'm starting to feel like because what happened in the end, the Toad turns out, or the Toad, what's his name? Because they found
Valerie.
Toya? Oh, Tova? Is it
Toya? Toya is the small
Toya, and sleeping next to the Toad.
Corey.
Yeah.
That was the name. Yeah.
Corey?
Corey, yeah.
Is it Corey?
Yeah.
Like
the moldy thing. Corey.
Oh, Corey.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like the sweet life of, I don't know, Corey in the house or something.
Life according to Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Boy Meets World one.
From like the 90s. No, Corey, like the moldy word.
Corey. I'll put it up. Corey.
So they find Toya asleep in the arms of Corey. And that's where Laura detected some fiendish energy. But she was like, was it Toya that's the fiend? Is it Corey that's the fiend? She wasn't too sure.
You would think it's the Toad.
Yeah, you would assume so. But essentially they talked to them, and they talked to Toya. Now Toya was the girl that was singing in the first episode, right before everything went wrong. And Matt did mention, he made a point of mentioning that her voice sounded broken. It sounded like something had damaged it.
It feels like he made that decision as was going along. I think halfway through there, he was just like, let's make her like a little bit of a broken voice.
So he might have been
or he screwed it up and just rolled with it.
So we got some investigation again. Now Sam Riegel is pretty much at every point anyone says anything going, aha, I knew it, it's you! Which was
there's a lot of finger pointing. And then the Toad attacks, right?
Basically, some of the parties...
Was it the Toad or was it like a devil? Because I thought he said it hopped away.
Yeah,
so I assumed it was the devil Toad.
No, I think there was another frog-like creature. Because basically what happens outside the tent, while these guys are investigating and talking to Toya and Corey, some of the other party are outside, and they see these guards who are just kind of like seizing up and falling over.
And holding their heads and
Yeah, so immediately I'm thinking like Mind Flayer kind of stuff. This reminded me of Clarota and the way that they kind of operated.
Makes sense considering the start of the campaign.
Yeah.
Nice little time.
But then Matt does mention that there's a silhouette out in the distance that is hopping to place to place.
Yeah, so that's why I thought it was, what was the
Corey, but
Corey,
no, because I don't remember Corey actually leaving the tent, or Matt describing that at all, so I think it's a secondary creature.
Well, they kind of left, like Jester and not left.
Yeah.
So it could have been enough time.
I think what's happening, like my theory, is that Corey is going to be implicated. People are going to see this hopping creature and go, oh, it's him. But really, we see that because he's so sweet with Toya, that he's actually completely innocent.
He's like a dog kind of protector of Toya.
Yeah. Now the guards.
Restriction,
Yeah, that's my theory. Then the guards start coming back as zombies, and all hell breaks loose.
And then you find out you don't actually need to touch the being, the person for them to turn into one.
Yeah.
So they can basically think about someone or look at someone and they can turn.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that hopping creature is the one that does it.
Yeah.
It could be just like. This could be a whole big setup so Corey is implicated. Because I'm really getting sold on that idea.
Right.
It's a complete misdirection that they're wanting to blame this fiendish frog.
And they're all going to turn and be like, it was them, and then Toya loses her companion and her essentially father figure, so that's what I think.
Or that could be what they're trying to do, because they're trying to get the frog away from Toya.
We don't know, we have to wait till Thursday.
That's why it attacked at the circus to begin with, because they're trying to get Toya, but then the frog saved her,
protected her,
and then they realise they have to get rid of the frog now.
So then there we go, we've solved the conspiracy, mic drop.
Who needs to watch the rest of it?
You heard it here first on NPCs and Wildemount.
Did it.
Nailed it, and it's going to be great on Thursday when that turns out to be complete bollocks and we're just completely wrong.
Yeah.
But essentially, another cool moment right at the end is Liam perceiving through the eyes, the wizard familiar. He does this thing which I think is going to become canon, where he does this, because he can't hear anything while he's doing this, but he can talk.
He basically goes like blind and deaf.
Yeah, so he kind of does like this, kind of looking away and doing things, which I think he's going to do more often. Anyway, at that point, roll initiative essentially happens. That's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Gotta wait till next week.
So basically we didn't have any major combat. Well, probably will have combat because zombies appeared right at the end of it.
It's probably going to start with combat.
With it. But this was a very kind of get to know these characters, let's watch them try and solve a puzzle kind of thing and watch them fail, and it's what we need.
Yeah.
In order to start growing attached to these characters.
Yeah, I'm already in love with Knot.
Jester.
Jester's Hughes.
Oh,
you on? Yeah. So we really get to learn a bit more about the subtleties of the characters. We get to watch them interact with each other, which is really fun. We kind of get an idea of how they feel about the other party members.
Yeah, and we're starting to get, we definitely getting a lot of drops of back history there.
Yeah.
And Caleb's a werewolf.
That's your theory, and he's going with that lightning throat.
It just makes that only logical sense.
Yeah. So we'll find out. We love to make these late predictions, especially right at the start of a new campaign. We couldn't do that with the old Critical Role because it
was too far in.
We were too far into it.
But if you do have a theory about anything that's happened, make sure you pop it in the comments below because we like to read it. And because if we say that, people do it, and we feel like we have people.
Thanks for everyone that has commented the last couple of videos.
The last video was our biggest ever.
Yeah, most popular video. We've gone up nearly 100.
That's our peak.
We've done the most success we're going to do.
That's it.
But no, we gained like nearly 100 subs in a month last month.
Crazy.
Thank you guys so much. I don't know about you, first thing I do when I wake up is check the stats of YouTube, read the comments before I'm even out of bed.
For those who knew, we do have a whiteboard that we put all the stats on there.
Yeah.
And because we were doing this since April last year.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, and it's fun to go in there and seeing who updates it first.
Yeah. Or sometimes I'll come downstairs, I'll come downstairs, I'll update it, I'll come up, I'll go to make a coffee, and by the time I get back down again, it's changed, it's gone up again. And I'm like, oh, great.
And it's fun.
Yeah. So make us smile and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe or leave a comment down below. Join our Discord, where we talk about Critical Role and other stuff. Make sure you watch our other content, our podcast, anything. YouTube, Facebook, all that. I don't know, YouTube.
There's a whole bunch of links down below to the rest of our stuff.
But before we go, we're going to start this new thing and we're going to do a featured comment. So if you do leave your comment below, you'll be in the poll for next week's video. But this week, we have a comment from... I'm going to put it to you, because you read the name. You always give me shit for not being able to say the names.
Okay, well,
so
let me just
read the names, but I'll pop it up here.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, go.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Like, this is the most complicated thing. Alright. Artulu Taman.
Not so easy.
No, I got this is not fair. You get like Greek and you screw that up. I get Attila Tui bloody Attila Tana Ataratula.
It could be his real name.
Sorry,
syllable it out.
I'm sorry if this is your real name, for multiple reasons.
Okay,
Tulu Tenin. Tulu Tenin.
Yeah, that's the best attempt. No, you have to actually read the comment.
Oh, okay. Sweet. A couple of trivial corrections. Matt messed up the date in the opening, which was then corrected on Twitter after the episode.
Which has also been corrected on the official YouTube video of Critical Role 1. So he says 335 PD, but it's actually 835 PD. Yeah. So if you actually go back and watch Critical Role episode 1 of just that little intro when he's talking about Welcome to Wildemount, blah blah blah. He's actually dubbed his own voice over with the correction.
It actually looks pretty good. I mean, for someone over editing, it looks natural.
But it does look like a bad Japanese dub.
Yeah, like an old Western movie or something.
No.
Yeah, but I actually noticed. I didn't notice that until you pointed it out. And the other one was the other part of that comment. Sam decided his character would be female independently
because we did say Liam said it
last week, which we were wrong about. Liam did suggest his race and class, but it was Sam's choice to be female.
So he chose to do that high voice for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna.
Well, see, I have another theory that Sam, Not, is going to be a character where he makes us fall in love with it, and then he deliberately puts her in dangerous situations, and in combat, she's going to die, and then he's going to come back.
Her. Just like, I just got tired of doing the voice. Imagine if that's the justification of killing character.
And then Tyrion Darrington comes back.
What, 20 years older?
Yeah.
Like an older Tyrion Darrington.
You heard it here first on NPCs. But yeah, if you comment down below your... I thought... Okay.
There's one more line.
Caleb's accent is supposed to be German, but Liam was going for very subtle, so it was hard to detect.
That was a long... That took way longer than it needed to do.
This is supposed to be the wrap-up of the episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for supporting us. We just do this because we love Critical Role, and we actually love the Critic community, and we wanted to engage with you guys. So comments if you want, subscribe if you want to make us smile. It's the first thing that I do tomorrow morning when I check my phone. But for myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and...
It's so hot!
Save us, global warming is cooking New Zealand.
Climate change.
Political.
You gotta act. Actor.
Fuck off.
Scene.
Okay.
Do you guys do actually?
No one actually does that.
No one does
that in the world. No, that's all TV magic. Alright, I have to read this apology letter, apparently, because the last episode, so let's just get this done.
We got a fact wrong, and Ollie needs to correct.
I am terribly sorry for calling Liam's character a warlock when very clearly he was a wizard. Dave knew this the entire time because he is clever and smart and fun and good looking and wise and dexterous, and his calves are as majestic as the rolling hills of Ireland. I'm not reading that, that's ridiculous.
Well, there's nothing on there to begin with.
I just think that about you.